Hey, how you doing? I'm not really happy right now because Arsenal are about to lose one of the best young prospects to have emerged from the academy in recent years. Chido Obi-Martins, Danish striker, 16-year-old, came to Arsenal when he was 12, has spent 4 years at the club, but he really came to the fore in this past season when he scored 32 goals in 20 games, including 10 goals against Liverpool and 7 goals against Norwich in one match, and he hit about 5 hat-tricks in the course of that astonishing run of 32 goals. Now, this player, under any manager, you could have seen him getting a debut in the first team, at least. But it's not happening under Arteta, is it? In the 4.5 years he has been at Arsenal, he's only handed about 5 players their debuts. Ethan Nwaneri, Ben Cottrell, Miguel Aziz, Folarin Balogun, and Charlie Patino. Just 5 players in 4.5 seasons. And Arsenal Academy has been vibrant. We've had lots of promising players. That is the issue here. This kid leaving Arsenal has been simmering under. It's a fallout from last year, December, when we had that dead rubber match against PSV away. Arsenal were already confirmed to be group leaders. It was day 6 of the Champions League. So we were going to PSV just to play the match as a formality. And they had taken along youngsters Ethan Nwaneri, defender Lina Sousa, and Ruel Walters. They were in the squad hoping to make their debuts. And when youngsters are trying to make their debut, man, they are so excited about it. They've told their parents, everyone is watching, maybe their girlfriends are watching, and they get to PSV, and what does Arteta do? True to character, he plays the likes of Elneny and Cedric, and even brings on substitutes, but none of these kids gets their debut. That was a big snub to the academy, and symbolically, it must have sent a very bad signal down the academy ranks that this is a manager who does not give a chance to young players. I mean, even the press were on him after the match. They were asking him, why didn't you play the youngsters? And he said that, it's a difficult place to come away to. They've not lost here for 2 years. And I thought it was a good opportunity for me to give a chance to these other players who have not had a chance, the older players. Well, but you should have also balanced and brought at least 1 or 2 youngsters on, even for 5 minutes, to give them their debut on a Champions League. A debut on a Champions League for a youngster, a teenager, is a big deal. It's a bigger deal to them than giving 5 minutes or giving some game time to Cedric and Elneny, who are actually going to leave the club anyway. So there was a big fallout from that night, and Arsenal fans were not happy that Arteta did not give them a chance to see the youngsters play. But it looks like the bigger damage is actually in the kids themselves, that some of them now have realized that there's no pathway for them, there's no clear pathway for them to get to the first team. And that's why we've had kids like Mario Dubre. Have you seen the debut he made for Brighton over the weekend or something like that in the preseason? 19-year-old. He scored like 2 goals, I think, and he created all manner of chaos on that right wing. This is the kid who was touted to be the understudy for Saka, the next Saka. And he has opted to go away and fallen into Brighton's arms, and he's going to come back to haunt us. I'm sure this kid is going to keep haunting us for the next 10 years plus, because he's going to be a big player. He's diminutive, but he's very skilled. He's brave. He's got an eye for goal. He can dribble. He's got everything you need in a young forward. And I'm sure it's going to be a big loss for us. What about the other kid, Ruel Walters? Was waiting forever to get a chance to play. No chance came, so he opted to go. No, I'm not signing a new contract. I'm out of here because I don't see any pathway to the first team. And now Chido Obi-Martins. My goodness. Most people who have seen this kid play say that he's one of the best natural finishers they have seen at that age. Scoring lots of goals as a teenager. And now Fabrizio Romano says that he has chosen to go to Manchester United. Not that Arsenal did not offer him the money. I made a video about a month ago where I said, give the kid the money, give him a big contract. Make sure you do everything within your powers to make him stay. And that was the time when Arsenal were scouring the market, trying to get Benjamin Sesko into the team. And I'm sure at that time the kid was looking and saying, Sesko is a young striker. When am I ever going to get a chance to get into the first team? And it's around that time that the rumors started emerging that this kid was looking to leave Arsenal. And I think I was thinking, they're going for a young striker. Do they really have any pathway for me into the first team? And it said that Arsenal actually went in and gave the kid a very good offer, fairly good contract. So he's not leaving because of money. He actually agreed to the contract that Arsenal offered him. But his uncertainty is about the pathway to the first team, and him being convinced that the project that Arteta is trying to build is going to give opportunity to young players. and he's opting to go to Manchester United. Now that is very painful, because if he was going to a smaller club, let's say to Brighton or any other club, then you could understand and say, okay, he's actually going to get more playtime. But he's going to Manchester United. It means there's a way that Manchester United have set up their club to bring up players from the academy in a way that Arsenal are not doing. Under Ten Hag, we've had Alejandro Garnacho coming through from the academy and shining, becoming a star for that team. We've also had Kobbie Mainoo, who has now become an England international at 18. You know, within a year he's become a regular at Manchester United in midfield, and now he's playing for England as a midfield international at only 18 years old. What, do you think these kids don't actually look at other clubs and see what's happening there and gauge and see whether this club is going to be good for their careers long term? You know, look at Barcelona, big club. Lamine Yamal, 16 years old, given his debut. Now he's shown over the club, he's gone there to the Euros and completely torn it apart. You know, young player of the tournament at 17. What do you think the likes of Nwaneri are not watching that? Even this Chido Obi-Martin is 16. But he knows that under any other club, given his talent level, he could have had his debut already. And it's not just Barcelona. Manchester City, Pep Guardiola has given 24 players their debuts in his 7 years at the club. Liverpool, under Klopp, he gave 17 players their debuts. Compare that to Arteta, only 5 players in about 4.5 years. And most of those debuts have just been those token cameos, you know, coming on like for the last 2-3 minutes or the last 15 minutes. There's no sustained, consistent run of games. Young players need a consistent run of games in the first team. How do you develop players like Saka? You know, he came through, he was given his opportunity, but not just one opportunity. He was given a run of games. And that's how players build their confidence and realize their potential. A run of games. We have not seen that under Arteta for any youngster. And we are not saying that start them in the first 11 in big Champions League matches or in the Premier League matches. But there are some games that are maybe dead rubber games. Or you're 4-0 up in the Premier League or in the Champions League. Or maybe an FA or a League Cup game when you're playing against lower opposition. Give these kids a chance. Throw them in there. 1 or 2 of them at least, so that the rest in the academy can say that if you're good enough, you get your opportunity. But it looks like Arteta is actually learning from this Obi Martin saga, because I'm sure the club hierarchy have had a word with Arteta, and he seems to be giving players a chance more. In pre-season, you saw against Bournemouth, lots of youngsters playing there, even against Manchester United. You know, the likes of Aiden Haven, you've seen him playing in defense, you've seen Ethan Nwaneri, of course, and you've seen Salah-Eddine Mhand. This kid is a proper bowler. I was actually surprised that he's 20 years old. He looks much younger than that. I mean, his link-up play in that midfield was excellent. He looks very comfortable on the ball. You know, his 1-2s, you know, he just floats the passes, long, short, quick, incisive passing. He looks like the real deal, this kid. So we should definitely have him being given more game time this season. And even the likes of Myles, Lewis-Skelly was given an opportunity at left back. He's a midfielder by trade. So you can see that Arteta is actually trying to send a signal to the youngsters that, look, it's not going to be business as usual. I'm going to try to give you more games. And it's not going to get any easier, because Arsenal is actually growing. Right now in every position, we have an international player, proper established international player. It means that youngsters are going to have less and less opportunity to play for the club. So Arteta better learn to know how to weave in academy players and regular players as part of the season. Otherwise, why should we have an academy? Do we have an academy just to develop players and sell them to Manchester United? We need to grow our players and see them come through the ranks and come into our team. So Chido Obi-Martin, Danish striker, leaving for Manchester United at only 16 years is just a big slap in the face, man. It feels really bad. And it's not a thing of saying that he might not turn out to be the striker we think he's going to be. I think this kid is going to be the real deal. He's got the height, you know, he's got physicality. He just needs to bulk up a bit. And he'll be a proper number 9, a proper forward, you know, who can actually hold his own against big defenders, who can score goals for fun. And it looks like he's got that natural finishing instinct. So, bitter one to lose, but hey, hope Arteta's learned his lesson, and going forward, we're going to see more youngsters playing for the club, not just going for pre-season, you know, training with the first team, appearing on the match day, but not actually getting that run of games in the first team for them to show what they truly can do. Thanks all for watching. If you are new to this channel, please kindly take a moment to subscribe, give us a like if you like this video, and leave a comment and let us know which youngsters you think Arteta should give a constant run of games in the team this coming season. Till next time, peace. God bless.